Welcome to Wine Road, the wine, when, and where of northern Sonoma County. I'm your host, Marcy Gordon, with Beth Costa, Executive Director of the Wine Road.
We are on the air due to the generous support of River Road Family Vineyards and Winery. We encourage you to check out their website, riverroadvineyards.com, and explore their collection of beautifully crafted wines, from Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, along with Old Vine Zinfandel, all from the Russian River Valley, as well as Cabernet Sauvignon from the Alexander Valley. Again, that's riverroadvineyards.com.
Welcome to episode 185. Today our guest is Dr. Henry Barham. He is an ear, nose, and throat physician, and he's here to tell us about a new product called Vinotastr.
Yeah, thank you all so much for having me. I'm excited about this.
Dr. Henry has done some research, and he, with a team, has created the test called Vinotastr. They have created a discovery kit that has 4 taste strips, and through these strips, you can discover your sensitivities and whether you have a predilection towards bitterness or sweetness, and it predicts very accurately what you're most likely to enjoy.
So the bottom line is today, Beth is being thrown under the bus, and Beth online gets to take a test.
Yes, so we're going to do the test live with Beth. But before we do, Dr. Henry, do you want to add to anything I just mentioned or elaborate on anything first?
Yeah, no, I mean, you nailed it. Basically, an ear, nose, and throat surgeon, and then did a rhinology fellowship, which no one really ever knows what that is. But basically, primarily my practice is on diseases of the nose, sinus, and skull base. And so our clinical practice really focuses on the nose, but our lab or our research is primarily focused on, taste and smell and inflammatory problems of that area that we practice on. And while we study taste and smell, this project has certainly been a really fun one to work on. It's been a lot more fun than a lot of other areas of research, especially scientific research. But basically, we started looking into, could you use taste receptors to establish preferences in different fields, and this one is specific to wine. And so it makes sense, when you kind of see the product and you use the product, but it obviously I'm very biased and kind of weirdly obsessed with taste and smell, which I know is not always the coolest thing, but I will say this one has been really fun. And it does make sense because, like people, when they hear analogies to like vision, we use vision for a lot of things, and people will have yearly vision screenings and, will have glasses that fit their eyes, but we've never really done anything similar in taste or smell. And so really what we have worked on is we've figured out a way to measure each individual's specific taste receptors. And so by measuring those, you then can essentially direct them towards what their preference would be out of the gate. Now, I will make a statement. An important point of this is that it really is a beginner level test,
Right.
Or someone who is trying to figure their way through wine, because, as we've developed this product, we figured out that, a lot of people buy wine in a similar way, that wine can be very intimidating. Admittedly, I'm not a wine person, or I wasn't, before we started this project, because it just is a little bit overbearing, for myself and others that we've talked to, where most people kind of buy where they walk into a store and, there's thousands of bottles and it's a little bit intimidating. And so most people buy a label that
Exactly.
That is in their price
They
range
pick the label.
and not really know what to do. Yeah, exactly. And so this has been really fun because basically it makes it easy. It kind of cuts through the noise. And so you measure your taste receptors, and then based on the data that we've gathered, the algorithm just curates recommendations based on varietal of what your preference would be. And so, you sort of described that, but that's essentially what this is. So as you said, there's a couple of strips of paper that are coated in chemicals or agonists, which are like stimulants for the specific receptors. And on the app, you take the test, and then as you enter what you taste and how strongly, what it's doing is it's measuring your taste receptors, and then it automatically curates what your preference would be. And then, you'll essentially be able to click on what you want, and it'll ship wine directly to your house. And so the point is sort of making a super intimidating field just much more approachable and personalized for each person.
The ultimate personalization, because this is my T1, T2 taste receptors, which we all have. And this is not to say that it is targeted to mostly people new to wine, but if you're even experienced, it also is a great way to break out of your wine rut, so to speak. If you like this, the product also gives you recommendations to other wines. So it's really a personalized, it's like your thumbprint that we're looking at.
Well, and I think I love the idea. I haven't taken the test yet, but I love the idea that it would just give the individual some guidance, because when you walk into a tasting room, kind of new to wine, the first thing the tasting room person usually asks you is, what flavors do you like? And I used to think, well, how embarrassing. Like, I don't know how to say it or describe it, or I don't know.
Or maybe you don't know what you
I don't
like.
know I don't know what the word would be to say what I like. So, I'm excited to take the test.
All right. Maybe can we Go ahead, Dr. Henry.
No, that's exactly right. It's that's another thing we found is like that's part of the intimidation is
right.
Going into a store. Like if you don't know the language, I mean, it is. It's
what do you like? Like, I don't know.
Or whether it be red or white, that's pretty generic. But it just makes it easy because it's tailored to you, and then it actually does. It teaches you sort of the language of specific ones to ask for if you go in a store. While the ultimate goal is that you can take the test and you can order wine directly off of that. It's more than that. You can, so just based on, having the app on your phone, once you get your results, you can still walk in the store and then speak the lingo because,
right.
You have your recommendations right there, and then you can sort of talk the talk. And certainly would help, what we've seen is it really actually helps people making recommendations, because when a lot of, wine experts are trying to make recommendations to people who don't know how to talk the talk, it always starts as like, well, do you like red or white?
Yeah.
And that's so generic, as opposed to somebody saying, well, I know that I like a Pinot Noir from Sonoma Valley.
Right.
Like, that's so much further along, and that's kind of the point of it, is make it easy so that everyone can enjoy it and enjoy what they like, because that's the point is that, it's crazy to think that we would all enter the wine world in the same place. We just don't. In the same way that people's vision is different, their taste is also different. And so if you know what yours is, it just makes it easier, and it's much faster to enjoy it because you don't have to sort of waste the time of figuring out what you like, because this does it for you.
So we're going to move over to doing the test now, and I want to let people know in the show notes, we're going to put a link to the website where you can buy a test, and you can find out what went into this and learn more about the taste receptors, because the science in this is fascinating. We have a great little box. The packaging is super cute. And it's the Vinotastr, and we're going to open it up. And, of course, we will put pictures on this. There's actually, in each kit, there's 2 tests. There's 4 little pouches. And in each pouch, you're going to take a strip, and you put it on your tongue, and you're going to ascertain, does it taste sweet? Does it taste bitter? Is there no taste? And then there's a scale, a little moving scale, you can do 1 to 10. So Beth's going to...
So each one, you like 3 or 4 seconds. You put it on your tongue for like 3 or 4 seconds.
And it would be good, have a little water on hand for you. They have great instructions on how to do this in here. So go ahead and do number 1.
I did, okay.
Think about what you're tasting there.
I'm moving on to number 2 because it's just a couple of seconds.
Okay. And then you think about what you're tasting there. Don't overthink it. That's sometimes people overthink, but just what your initial
I have never been accused of overthinking.
Okay, so that's my world, not yours.
I'm on to 3. Okay.
And now you're on number 4. Your eyes lit up on that one.
Okay. Yeah, 4 was the one that was most distinct for me. Okay, so I did all my things, I think.
So let's hit your results.
I hit end. And I'm at balance.
You're the balance ambassador.
What does that mean?
Yay, Beth. Well, Carpe Vino, seize the wine. But here's the recommendations, and see if these resonate with you. So dry Riesling, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay. I know you love that. Chenin Blanc, like an African Stellenbosch. Zinfandel, Dry Creek Valley.
Oh my God, what are the odds of this?
Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon, Grenache. I know you're a Grenache monster. Malbec from Columbia Valley in Washington. And then other wines to discover. Champagne. Gruner Veltliner.
Oh my God. I mean, really, that is...
Grenache Blanc.
Unbelievable.
Rhone Whites. Roussanne. Vermentino. Barbera. Bordeaux Blend, and Dolcetto. So I'll let you kind of look through that.
I mean, I do find that pretty amazing, because that was
Isn't that
It was such a
interesting?
simple little thing, and I didn't feel there
You
were
felt
four
you were doing
options.
something wrong.
Yeah, I felt like I was doing something. There were 4 options for each. I think there was 4 options for each strip. What the flavor was, and I thought, oh no, I'm not really getting this. I thought I'm going to fail again.
There's no wrong. So there's 5 profiles, and you are, what is this, Dr. Barham is kind of in the middle of her taste receptors,
Sees the wine.
correct?
Right. Yeah. And so, I mean, yeah, that's funny it's fun to watch people do it, honestly. And it's really fun to do it as a group because you'll get different responses. I mean, that's, the way that we've learned about these is basically, everyone inherits these receptors sort of genetically or from your parents where you have different levels of expression. And so, there's 5 cardinal tastes, but we're measuring the ones that are most important or measuring the receptors that we figured out are most important for like tannins in wine. And so tannins, are made up really from the grape skins and seeds and then the wood barrels that wine is aged in. And so tannin is really what provides a lot of the bitterness and even like the punch of wine. But we're also measuring sweet receptors. And so, sweetness is really the residual sugar or the unfermented grape sugars left over after the fermentation process. And so when you measure your specific receptors, what the test is doing is it's measuring your current level of expression or your phenotypic expression, which is like your outward expression of your genotype. And so it's your current or active level of taste, essentially. And then we've curated, the different wine types or varietals based on that. So the ones that are high in tannin, someone with high T2R response is actually going to have more of an aversive response or a negative response towards those. But someone with kind of moderate level of T2R will be able to appreciate different tannins, but not necessarily be turned off by it. And then similarly, same with sweet receptors. So you measure the sweet receptors, and people with high T1R, which is a sweet receptor, will be able to better perceive the individual sweetness. So you can have, one wine and give it to somebody that's high in T1R, the sweet receptor, and they will perceive it as sweeter than someone with low expression of T1R, the sweet receptor. And so it is very specific to you. That's why, everyone kind of has the same response of like, how does it do this? Because this is what I like. But it's science. The kind of tagline is science behind your sip. But that's exactly what it is the science is there. It's just kind of the first time that we've utilized it specific to each person to make recommendations. And so it's fun to take the test, but it's also, it's pretty awesome to see results when everyone's kind of like, this is exactly me.
Yeah, and you're so right. This would be so much fun in a group setting.
There's another test in the box that I have, so I cannot wait to have my husband take this. I just can't wait to see what the result is.
Yeah.
Because I know what he normally drinks.
Right.
So I want to see what the test shows.
And there are 5 distinct profiles. I am the body advocate. So similar to you, but a little more. On mine, it says orange wines.
Well, naturally.
So
it does not say that on mine.
I know. So it is just.
That is incredible that shows up on there.
And it's such a great tool that now you could, if you're new to wine and you're going to tasting room, if they understood the vernacular as you did, you say, I'm a balanced ambassador, or I'm a sweet avenger, or whatever whatever your component label is, it really helps you find the wine. And then through Vinotastr, you can also get a list and go shopping and try all these wines. And it also really opens up that door to exploration that you can find new wines that maybe all you ever drank was Chardonnay and Cabernet. Now you're going to try something, some Chenin Blanc, something you'd really might like.
Oh my God. This just blows my mind, actually. I just keep looking at the list. I'm thinking that this is so incredible.
Bravo, Dr. Barham.
Oh my gosh. I am just flabbergasted because it just didn't seem like there was that much to the test. I didn't see some huge variation from the 4, little strips that you tasted. That is so amazing to me. Oh my God. I mean, I really can't wait to get Greg to do it. And then I'm going to send one to my daughter, let her and Mary do it. I love this.
Yeah, thank you. It's funny you say that it seems simplistic, and it's intended to be. So, when we first started looking into it, we explored certainly, more strips and more of a complicated test, but we were actually able to figure out which ones matter, which specific receptors matter for tannins in wine,
right.
which ones for acidity, and which ones, for the residual sugar. And so it makes it where it's easy. And as you saw, it's a really quick test to take.
Yeah.
But in the background, there's a lot going on.
Right. Obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, no, it has been a lot of fun to kind of explore this and develop this as we're, about to launch.
This was so fun. I was so skeptical. I'm always skeptical.
Yeah. No, that's been the response of most people. And we didn't really know what it was going to be like, because we're coming, obviously, not from the wine industry.
Right.
And so didn't really know how people were going to take it in the wine industry. And you're exactly right. Most people are very skeptical, but it's been the same response. And then as you sort of explore it further, it seems, I guess the outcomes have been, it actually seems like just a nice adjunct or something that could be utilized in the industry to make it easier actually to promote wine, because that's the end goal.
Right.
is that people enjoy what they drink. And so it's certainly, while we assume there may be some skepticism or feel like it was competition, it's not at all. It's actually meant to promote making it easier on the industry, because
Sure.
it's tailored for the consumer.
Absolutely.
It's specific to them so that they can know and really explore from there.
Right.
And how do you see this impacting the wine industry or being used? What's that vision?
Yeah, I mean, there's several potentials there. So the easy one is just that people can order the kit, ship it to their house, take the test on their app at their house, and then learn what they like, and whether they buy wine directly off of the app and ship it to their house, or they can, get the results and go to a store or to a restaurant and start exploring, that way.
Right.
The other potentials are, partnering, and we have, worked with, I'm in Louisiana, but we've worked with a couple of wine places here in Louisiana, and then some on a national level of just helping to refine recommendations and ability to get the end product to the person, meaning like not our end product. We're kind of the go-between, or the test that tells people what to order. But, we've also explored the idea of working with like wine rooms or tasting rooms, where exactly what you said earlier, where when people come in, you have the wine expert who's making recommendations. This would allow them to promote, or, the wine producer to promote their product, knowing that there's going to be a higher level of satisfaction and enjoyment in the person because they don't know what they don't like. And this sort of allows it to refine in out of the gate. And so there's a couple avenues there, whether it be, directly from our site or our app, or working with retail or producers or tasting rooms. And so we're certainly open to all of it.
I want to see this. I'm going to get this and have it on our website, not the podcast website, but wineroad.com. We have a little shopping cart, and I can definitely see it there. Just encouraging people, take the test before you plan your trip, so when you come, help you focus where you want to go and what kind of wines you want to be looking for, because it is, there are so many wines. If this could kind of help narrow down what you should be tasting and looking for. I love this. This was...
Thank goodness.
Nothing ever impresses me anymore. This was
so
cool.
Beth is one of the most jaded people I know. So no, I'm kidding. But she is truly, this is a great reaction. I'm so happy you like it. And it's also
super cool. How fun.
And you're a wine professional, right? You've been in the wine industry for 40 plus years. And this...
Me?
You.
Yeah. I am a professional.
As we say, it's very useful for people coming into wine, new to wine, but it's also kind of mind-blowing, even if you know a lot about wine. It was definitely
totally mind-blowing. I mean, to me, it felt like, that definitely worked. I can definitely see encouraging people to do this before you're going to go and do a big wine tasting adventure.
Right. You got your map, you got your rental car, you got your Vinotastr
have some idea
test.
What you want to check. Yeah. This was so cool.
It's a great direction. It gives you a starting point, which most people really need. Mm-hmm. Wine is so vast. This gives you a real entry point. And you can go any direction once, from the starting point, but it really helps to have a place to start.
How fun this was.
Right.
And it was just so quick. I can see doing this when we go on the road and do tasting events. I can see having people do it. Oh my gosh, I love this.
So, Dr. Henry, Beth's your new marketing person
Yeah,
here.
I know. I'm trying to
I
think.
love it.
I'm trying to think. What can we do? This was fun.
Tell us where we can get the kits and what people need to know about where to go, what to do, how to get them.
Yeah. I mean, the easiest way is at vinotastr.com. So that's the name of the kit. Is Vinotastr. So it's kind of play on the receptors are TAS.
Oh, yeah.
T1R and T2R, and so that's why it's TASTR. But with Vino in front of it, says VINOTASTR.com is the website, and so the kits can be ordered directly from the website, and they ship to your house. And then once you have the kit, scan it, and it brings up the app. And so it's a mobile app just to make it easy. But yeah, you can take it. That's the easiest place to get it. And then explore from there. Once you figure out what you like, it allows you to kind of figure out for the rest of your life how to.
That's what I want.
your
Something to
wine
help me
life.
with anything for the rest of my life. Sold. This was awesome.
Is there anything I didn't ask you to add?
I'm the boring one. The product is certainly the more exciting one. So I think this was great. Not really that much on me. It's more about this. But I mean, that's the beauty of it. I will say, as I said earlier, I'm biased. Is that it's fun to watch taste science sort of come to fruition, because it's just something that we hadn't done before. And so when people do it and they get really excited about it, it's like a light bulb goes off.
Right.
But that's the beauty of doing research is where you find something and it's so applicable. And people get excited about it because it makes sense and it makes it easy. And that, as someone who does, basic science and then clinical science, it's really fun to watch that.
And what a great light bulb moment that must have been. This taste science, the research you had done over years and years and years, suddenly say, hey,
it works.
This might work with wine. And there you go. That's such a great story right there.
This was fun.
I mean, it's funny. We joked that my clinical practice it's like on the nose, which seems like such a non-fun, non-exciting topic. But you're exactly right. I mean, this is because it's such a novel finding. It's been really, really exciting.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Doctor, for your time. We really, really appreciate it. We're very excited, and we will put in the show notes where you can get the test. By the way, what are you? What's your taste profile?
Sweet Avenger.
Sweet Avenger. Awesome.
Yeah. Which is, and that's actually why I have really come to love this, because myself and people in my group is, I have high expression of T2R, which is sort of a aversive bitter response. And I don't like to say it's a problem, obviously, but what that does is, you sort of shy away from some of the big, bold Cabernets that are often the ones recommended when you go to a restaurant
exactly.
or when you go somewhere. That's what's always recommended.
Right.
And it's the idea that I might like a sweeter wine. Well, that's kind of like, oh, you're so cute. You don't really know wine. That's why you like it. But it's like it's almost like justifies
right.
what you like, because it's like it is you. It's the science of your tongue. It's literally the receptors on your tongue. And so it allows you to figure that out and know. And so it's been sort of, it's nice to know, honestly, but that's what group I am.
Right, exactly, because there is some kind of, a little bit of snobbery sometimes people have around sweet wines, which is nothing to do with anything but someone's opinion. And so this test really gives you ownership over what you like.
Right. People seem to be apologetic when they call the wine road and they say, I'm traveling with, two people, and one of the ladies, she really only likes sweet wine. I'm like, okay, great. Here's where you should go.
Yeah.
You don't need to apologize for that. I love it. This was fun.
I
had fun today. Thank you for that.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Thank you all so much for having me.
Oh, of course. We'll have to do a follow-up in a couple of months to see how everything's going.
Definitely.
I would love that.
All right. Thank you, Doctor.
Thanks
We
for
so
joining
appreciate
us.
it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, y'all have a great day. Thank you.